Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I'm sorry for that little introduction of the ceiling fan. I wasn't having my camera going the right direction this morning. Here I was thinking I was all set, and well, best laid plans. Okay, so thank you for joining me. It's Crafty Saturday, and I have been up since, oh, you don't want to know. The dogs woke me up at 5:15 this morning, and it was really nasty because they decided to get sick all over the carpet, and that's not how you want to start a Saturday. Do you like my Stampin' Up! Cup? Can you see it? It's awesome. Got this at on stage, and they know me and know that I need to have a lid, so this is perfect. Good morning, Celine. It's good to see you today. So today, well, we're going to be working with the Varied Vases stamp set, but we're going to work in a different way. But I wanted to show you, this is my class tomorrow. It is an in-person class with a to-go option, and it's my Simple Sunday class, and I love these cards. These were so much fun to make. And we are using the new colors. I wanted to use new colors. So we have soft seafoam, and this is Highland Heather, Blueberry Bushel, which is one of the new in colors, and here's Lovely Lipstick. And I wanted to do some pastels, right? Some of the Subtles collection, as well as some of these new bright in colors. So we have quite a nice selection. My Simple Sunday classes are $20. We make 8 cards, 2 each of each design, or it's free with a $20 purchase. And then, like I said, there's this to-go option, and this month I have more to-go orders than I do in person. Isn't that awesome? I think it's great. Like I said, we're going to use the Varied Vases stamp set in a different way. We're not going to be doing any flowers. We're not going to be doing any of the vases, even though I love them. I wanted a little hostess gift or something that would work with the cards for tomorrow. So let me show you some things that we're going to use in the catalog today. I have the Varied Vases, which is on page 45. Okay, it's a photopolymer set, and I absolutely love it. And there's some really pretty examples in the catalog. And if we go to the front, there's this whole page here. Okay, look how soft. That's our stamp set. Then we're using the new in color 6x6 designer series paper. And that's very awesome because there are 40 sheets. And it comes in all 5 colors. And this year, instead of florals, I love that Stampin' Up! Did like polka dots and stripes. So if you take a look, I mean, these are really cool. So we have a small white dot pattern, and then thin stripes. And then if we go back here, whoops, you can see I punched a vase out on that one. This one is not white. It's a little lighter shade of the Blueberry Bushel and a larger dot, and on that side you have the coordinating stripe as well. And again, this comes in all 5 in color. So we have Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, Lovely Lipstick, whoops, I punched some vases out of that one too, Pineapple Punch, and Grapefruit Grove. I just love these, and this is such a handy size. Okay, so if you took part in my product share, you'll be getting full sheets of this size paper. Okay, all right, so I'm going to set that aside. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, do you remember a few weeks ago I was telling you about how awesome that Simply Chamois is? So people were having trouble finding that in the catalog. So I want to tell you, it's in the Stampin' Accessories page. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep moving my book around. All right, it's on page 206, and it's the Simply Chamois, and it's just this purple block, right? And so you're not really sure what you're looking at. And then right next to it, whoop, jump over, is the stamp cases. And I want to show you. Here's my chamois, and it fits right here in this standard stamp case. Okay, and remember, I think I said on a video I was having trouble because I had it in my little basket, and I always have the ceiling fan on, and it's right above me, and it was drying out. So now, while I'm crafting, I can close it up. It won't get dirty. It won't get anything wet because it's protected. I can put stuff on it, and my ceiling fan isn't going to dry it out too quickly. Here, too, here's the trick. When I'm done crafting, I'm going to make sure that I open it up and just lay it because I don't want it to mildew or mold, okay? And that would just be nasty, and it would just smell horrid. All right, so when you're done crafting, just leave your stamp case open, let it dry, and then, you know, soak it back in the sink to re-wet it. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Let's get crafting. I'm going to take off my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing now. Okay, so we made, oh, you wanted to see the box? Okay, we can do that. So here's the box we're going to make. All right, and it's a really nice big box. I think it would be good, you know, Father's Day is coming up, so this is a great design, and it stands up. And it's really amazing because it folds flat. Remember I was saying I needed some like little hostess gift, and this month's card class has more people taking it to go. So I like to send, you know, the little gift, and sometimes it gets crushed in the mail. So if I send this, I can fold it flat and put it in the envelope. Okay, so I wanted to try this with Call Me Clover this time. So I have my scoring tool, and all measurements are going to be on my blog. When I go back and I upload this to YouTube and I put it on the blog, it's all going to be there, okay? So don't worry, you don't have to write down any measurements. It's all going to be written down. So this piece of paper measures 8 1/4 by 11. So all I had to do was cut 1/4 inch off the short side. On the long side or on the landscape side with your scoring tool, and remember your scoring tool has a large ball on one end and a small ball on the other, and I like to use the small one on cardstock. Don't press too hard, okay? We're going to score this, make sure that it's flush, right? You're at a 90-degree angle when it's flush against the side and across the top. You're going to score it 1/2 inch and 2 1/2, 8 1/2, and 10 1/2. Okay, I'm going to try that one again. Felt like it snagged. Okay, then turn it 90 degrees. Okay, that's just a 1/4 turn. And we're going to score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and yes, 8. And it's going to be a very tiny thin strip. Okay, put my scoring tool away because I don't need that anymore. That, by the way, is one of my favorite tools of all time. Okay, now people always ask me, Michelle, when I fold after I've scored, which way do I fold? Well, you want the raised or the bumpy part on the inside, okay? So you should feel the bumpy part after you've scored it underneath, and then fold. We're going to fold all of those score lines, okay? When I was in high school, I had to take a test. You know, you have to take like the SAT or the ACT test. Well, when I was in high school, we had to not only take those, but we had to take what was called the Washington Pre-College Test. And I don't know if that test is still out there. It's pretty torturous for me. The math and the reading part, no problem. Well, I won't say math was no problem. Anybody who knows me knows Math's not my strong point. I was a French major after all. But there were 2 aptitudes that the Washington pre-college test measured for that, whoops, get on the score line, that the ACT and the SAT didn't measure. And they measured spatial ability and mechanical reasoning. And so, you know, you would look at a net, right, or an open 3D figure, and you'd have to tell them what that was going to make. And I'm like, no. Or they'd have to say, what shape would this opened up figure make? I have no idea. So we're going to take and cut some of this off. So I have my craft scissors here. And the first thing that I want you to do, you see this skinny part? Remember I told you it was just like teeny tiny? We're going to cut that off. We're going to go up 2 score lines and cut that off all the way. Okay? And then on all of these 3 score lines, so you have 4 squares here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to cut all the way to the second score line, and then kind of make a small notch, just a small one. Oh, I don't even know where that piece of paper went. Okay. Oh, look, it's stuck on my scissors. See, it was tiny. That's all that you need, is that tiny, tiny piece. Okay. And on this last one, I want you to cut that same tiny piece off. And that just makes it close a little tighter, okay, and not as bulky. Okay, now here we go. Ready? Cut in, or we're going to count from from right to left. 1, 2, 3. This third piece, I want you to cut off completely. Okay? So the third square, or a rectangle, I want you to cut that off completely. Come on. I really need better crafting shears. Okay. And then this piece, you have this fold here. I want you to cut below the fold, maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And you're going to do that on both of those. So if we look again, right, moving from right to left, the first one is left just like it is. The second one is you cut the tab off. The third one, you cut that rectangle completely. And the fourth one, you cut the tab off. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so flip it over. And again, we're going to cut this small piece completely off. And you can make a tiny notch here just so that box closes nicely. We're going to cut up the center score line. Okay, remove just a little notch so that it will close flat. Cut up your remaining 2 score lines. Cut a small notch there. Okay, and then now we have a really nice template, right? Because we have this one is missing, so we know that this is the one that has to be cut off. And then these 2 are notched, so these 2 are going to be cut off just below the tab. Okay, push all that aside. Don't throw it away, we're going to need it. Okay, now we have this funky looking box. So this is like that Washington pre-college test, right? If they had given me this and said, what is that shape? I wouldn't have known. I would not have known what this looked like. Okay, thank goodness we have videos now and people can actually help me figure that out. Okay, so I've cut some designer series paper. This is the Call Me Clover in color designer series paper. And I have 4 strips, and they measure 5 by 3 1/4 by 1 and 3 1/4. And again, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be on the blog. And I need my snail. And we're going to put those rectangles on the box. Okay? So, oops. Make sure it's going the right direction this morning. So just line them up, kind of eyeball them there. Make sure they're straight. I like to say make sure they're straight. Have you ever noticed my work? It's not often straight. I do my best. I really do. But don't feel bad if it's a little wonky, okay? Because the only person who's going to know is you. Oh, yep, going the right way. Sorry. It's taken me a while to get used to snail again. You know, I used Fastpies for so long. And my 4th one. I think this would be pretty with stripes too. When you cut your paper, if you do stripes, make sure it's going in the right direction. Because you certainly don't want to do stripes and have it going in the wrong direction. That would be something I would do. Okay, we're almost finished. Now, turn it back over. Not yet, sorry. On this strip right here, I'm going to grab my silicone mat, and you'll see why. I have my Terran tape, which is perfect for boxes because it's so nice and strong. Okay. And like the name says, you just have to tear it. Now, it is slightly wider, just slightly, than your paper. That's why I put the silicone mat here so that you didn't glue it to your grid paper underneath. And then you can just take that and roll it back up onto itself. And it won't show and it won't close your box. Okay? So, fold that in. Whoops, see, I didn't get it all the way. Much better. Okay? And then fold that on top. And it's almost a box. Now, all you have to do is close your sides. Oh, you know what we forgot? This will make closing it so much easier. So I have the new Trio Punch. This does 3 different corners. And this one right here is the corner rounder. I love it. So you want to put this in, and we should have done this. I should have done this, not we. It's my fault. I will take full responsibility. All right, we're going to make a 90-degree angle. See the guidelines here? Okay, so it goes in flush, and you lay it right on the table and punch. And look at that beautiful rounded corner. Okay, would have been a lot easier if I'd have done it before I glued it. So when you do your project, remember that. Don't be like me. All right, and then I'll stick those in there just out of the way. And I'm going to round the tabs on this. Okay. Now, if you were going to mail it, right, this would be where you stop. Or if you were going to make a bunch of these and stack them in the closet until you need them. Because look, folds completely flat. That's awesome. Okay? Maybe you're having a party. Maybe you're saying, hey, I'll make a bunch of these for Christmas. Okay? Tuck in your edges. And there you go. Okay? Top, bottom, doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay? Now, that's just a box. Boxes are kind of plain. So we're going to take my stamp, and I have a piece of white paper. I have strips of white paper. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, remember? So I like my piercing mat underneath. And I have hello. No, I have the thank you stamp. Okay, call me Clover. When you open this, right, these new ink pads are awesome. Flip and slide. Okay, it's that simple. And then we're going to stamp thanks. And then to close, pull, and flip. Make sure that you get it nice and tight, okay? Because it does snap. Did you hear it? Snap twice. Okay. Then I have my 1 1/8 inch starburst punch, and it fits perfectly. I see some people are talking to me and I can't read, but I will answer you, and I really hope it doesn't say like, Michelle, your video's off, or I can't hear you. Okay, so there's that. Now remember I said don't throw those scraps away that we cut out? We're going to use the 1 3/8 starburst punch, and no waste here. Punch that out. And earlier, I used my layering circle die and I cut out a white, because when I put this on the box earlier, I thought, oh, it blends in too much. So I put another white layer to make it pop. And I didn't have another circle or scallop starburst punch. And so I'm using my die. And it looks just fine. Whoops. You saw that, right? Picked up my fast fuse. I still have some. It's my favorite. I was trying to be good. Okay, then snail. Okay, and I have 3 ribbons, because what is the point of having a pretty festive box and not dress it up? So I have the new Call Me Clover. This is like a mini grosgrain ribbon. I should know how to say that, right? And I'm going to cut off a nice length. And then I'm going to cut off equal lengths. And this is Whisper White. And then I have this pretty new Whisper White polka dot tulle. And so I have a lot of texture going on. I've got the grosgrain ribbon, and it's a nice thin layer. And then I have a wider, and this is polka dots, and it's tulle, and it's just textures and color and different widths. So it's just, you know, kind of visually appealing. So here's the front of our box. Make sure you've got it on the front. Okay. And I'm going to tie a single knot because I want it to be flat. Okay, you want to hold it tight, but not too tight, because you don't want to tear into your box there, right? That would be really bad. You worked so hard to make it pretty. Okay, and then you've got this pretty bow, and it's a little wonky, but you know, you can fix that. Okay, bring those ties down and pull it to however large or small you want it to be. Okay, that green loop is huge. Come on. And we're going to grab a dimensional somewhere. Okay. Oh, here they are. I'm going to put 2 on here just to make sure it's nice and secure. And put it right down here. And there you have it. Let's trim those just a little bit. I want them kind of long, but let's trim them and make them a little more even. Okay. Wow. Wasn't that fun? I love to make boxes. And if you had known what my score was on that Washington Pre-College test, you would never, ever have thought that I could even begin to make a box. But making boxes is not hard. It shouldn't be intimidating, and it is a lot of fun. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It is June, can you believe it? And I think I'm going to hit the pool later today after my nap from getting up so early with the dogs. All right, so again, this is Making Memories with Michelle. All of the dimensions and instructions as well as product list will be on my blog later this morning. Make it a crafty weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.